London, 1847. Rain tapped softly against the windows of Sophia. Beaufort's room as her maid fastened the final pearl button on her wedding gown. The ivory silk rustled as Sophia looked at herself in the mirror. At 20, with chestnut curls and warm amber eyes, she looked beautiful, yet her reflection showed no happiness, only quiet acceptance. Her father's voice called from downstairs, announcing that the carriages had arrived. Taking a deep breath, Sophia walked down the staircase of Beaufort House, a home that once reflected wealth but now quietly showed the marks of financial ruin. Her father waited below, his expression heavy with worry. He reminded her that the Duke of Westmoor was the best possible match in England. Sophia nodded politely, though she knew the truth. This marriage was not about love. It was a financial rescue for her family. At St. George's Church in Hanover Square, London's high society gathered to witness the grand wedding between Sophia and Henry Lancaster, the powerful Duke of Westmoor. As Sophia walked down the aisle, she kept her eyes lowered. She had only met the Duke twice before, and both meetings had been about contracts and arrangements. When she finally looked at him, she saw a strikingly handsome man with dark hair and cold gray eyes. The ceremony passed quickly. When he placed the ring on her finger and briefly kissed her, the gesture felt formal and distant, like signing a contract rather than beginning a marriage. That night, after the lavish reception at Westmoor House ended, Sophia stood alone in her new bedroom. The Duke entered briefly, poured himself a drink, and spoke calmly. Their marriage, he explained, was only an arrangement. She would have the title and security she needed, while he would satisfy society's expectations by having a wife. But he had no intention of building a real marriage. With that, he left her alone on their wedding night and every night after. Sophia finally allowed herself to cry, realizing she had married a man who had locked his heart away. 3 months passed. Sophia settled into life as the Duchess of Westmoor, managing the Duke's grand homes and fulfilling social duties. Yet she rarely saw her husband. He spent his days in Parliament, business meetings, and private clubs. When they appeared together in public, he was polite but distant. One evening at a grand London ball, they shared a dance to maintain appearances. During the event, an angry army officer named Captain Blackwood publicly accused the Duke of being responsible for his brother's death during a military campaign in India. The confrontation shocked the guests and left Sophia with many unanswered questions about the man she had married. Later that night, Sophia found the Duke alone in his study. For the first time, he revealed part of his past. Years earlier in India, he had led soldiers into an ambush that killed several men, including Captain Blackwood's brother. Though the official inquiry cleared him, the guilt had never left him. Since that day, he believed caring for anyone only led to pain. That was why he kept everyone at a distance, even his wife. Months later, the couple traveled to the Duke's country estate, Westmoor Park. Away from London's pressure, their relationship slowly began to change. They walked through gardens together, rode horses, shared meals, and talked more openly. Sophia's kindness and intelligence surprised Henry. When a tenant farmer became seriously ill, Sophia personally helped treat him, showing compassion and strength that impressed the Duke deeply. Gradually, the cold distance between them began to fade. They started sharing laughter, music, and quiet conversations. One evening, Henry finally admitted that he had been wrong to keep his heart closed. Sophia had shown him that caring did not always lead to pain. He confessed that he wanted a real marriage with her, not just an arrangement. Sophia, who had secretly hoped for this since their wedding day, accepted. Their first true kiss marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. When they returned to London, their marriage had transformed completely. They worked together, supported each other publicly, and built a partnership based on trust and respect. However, Captain Blackwood's accusations still threatened Henry's reputation. Sophia suggested confronting him directly. When the captain finally visited their home, Henry admitted his regret over the soldiers who died under his command and honored Blackwood's brother's bravery. Hearing the truth, the captain realized his anger had blinded him. The conflict finally ended in understanding rather than revenge. With that burden lifted, Henry and Sophia's happiness deepened. They spent their days attending social events, supporting charities, and enjoying each other's company. Their once cold marriage had grown into a deep and genuine love. Months later, while staying again at Westmoor Park, Sophia discovered she was expecting a child. When she told Henry, he was overcome with emotion. The man who once believed he could never love, again now held his wife with gratitude and joy. He promised that their child would grow up surrounded by warmth, kindness, and the love he had once believed was impossible. Standing together by the window as winter snow covered the estate, Henry and Sophia reflected on how far they had come. What began as a loveless agreement had become a powerful bond built on trust, forgiveness, and devotion. The Duke who once told his bride she would spend their wedding night alone had finally given her something far greater, his heart. And with that, their true life together had only just begun.